Hello there and welcome back to a long overdue video. This is in and around the Premier League this weekend, including Liverpool versus Tottenham, big game. It's a lot of controversy this weekend and obviously a lot of luck going a lot of teams' ways. Whether it was right or not, that's just how it's going to be. So we're going to talk about things. Obviously there's Arsenal versus Newcastle tonight. I fully believe there's Tink. Hiya, you alright? I fully believe that Arsenal are going to win tonight and they're going to clinch third spot in the Premier League. And I'm going to go through the table a little bit today. Obviously, we are in the run-in. Some of us, I think Liverpool, my team, we've got 6 games left of the Premier League. So it is now literally the run-in. We're going to come to Fulham versus Man City. Man City routine win, 2-0 on the day. I think, though, they've lost Sergio Aguero for the rest of the season, is what a source... I can't remember. I think it's the One Football app. I don't use it a lot because I find a lot of their stuff to be a bit, they just not very accurate with their stories. But I think it was also Sky Sports have said something about Aguero being injured, and that could be a big loss. But Man City seem to be able to cope with these sorts of things. Fulham, I don't actually believe they pose much of a threat. They had 1 shot on goal the whole game and 19% possession. Not a very good showing from Fulham, but what can you expect from Fulham at the moment? Southampton beat Brighton 1-0. Again, some of these games were 3 o'clock kickoffs, so couldn't actually watch them, and I haven't actually watched Match of the Day or anything like that yet, so literally just reporting the scores basically. But good result for Southampton really in the fight for relegation, because I think that now puts them, where are they? It puts them 16th, so it puts them 5 clear of Cardiff in 18th place. So that's very, very good result for Southampton. Big game as well for them coming up, and it's against Liverpool, which is again a big game for us. Every game is massive. Unfortunate for Brighton, but they again are on the same points as Southampton, still looking to get out of that relegation fight and stuff. But anyway, we move on. Now for me, Burnley 2-0 against Wolves actually surprised me. It really, really did, because Wolves, they're sat in 7th. All right, they're way off Chelsea in 6th. But Wolves have been doing absolutely fantastic this season in the Premier League. They are now level on points with Leicester, who are 8th. I think they have a slightly better goal difference, and 1 point ahead of both Everton and Watford. West Ham on 42 points as well. There's a lot of stuff going on there, but that really actually surprises me that Wolves... Obviously, yeah, you're facing Burnley at home. 2 minutes in, you get an own goal. Connor Cody, unfortunately, the captain for Wolves. And then Dwight McNeil scores as well. I think he got in someone's team of the week this week. I think it might have been Jamie Redknapp's. So I think a big performance by Burnley, who... By these stats here, they had the lowest of possession, 40% possession. Apparently only 1 shot on goal for both teams as well, which is quite ridiculous, obviously. But again, 2 teams that don't necessarily go out to look to outscore your opponents. But Burnley, I don't know what it is with Burnley. They've really seemed to have turned a bit of a corner since the new year and such like that. Again, themselves level on points with Southampton and Brighton on 33. 5 away from Cardiff. And Burnley themselves are looking likely... one of the likely teams that won't get relegated. There's only 2 relegation spots now, as well as we come on to the very next team, which is Crystal Palace versus Huddersfield. 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Huddersfield are the first team to be relegated this season, and they have themselves 6 games to go. Unfortunate for Huddersfield, really. You do have to feel for them a little bit. I felt they pulled the trigger far too early, not even a little bit, far too early on David Wagner, and I felt he'd done a good job with Huddersfield, but there's only so much that you can do with the resources that they had. It's unfortunate they got rid of him, and they've only got 14 points to show. Man, what a record. 3 wins, 5 draws, 24 losses. Unreal. I mean, you look at Fulham in 19th, who have spent way more. They've only got 3 more points. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Move on to Leicester versus Bournemouth. Leicester seems to be doing the business under Brendan Rodgers. They are now sat in 8th position, and they had the majority of the possession, majority of the chances, 12 shots, 4 on target, and who were your goal scorers? Wes Morgan and Jamie Vardy, the stars of their Premier League title win. So, I mean, maybe he's going to be getting the best out of the players that he's got. Brendan Rodgers does like to play much more of a possession style and attacking style as well, as much as he can. And he's got the attacking players there, which I think is what Claude Puel was missing out on. I think you look at the lineup that they actually went out with. You've got Damari Gray, Harvey Barnes, and Jamie Vardy in there. Yuri Tielemans, James Maddison and Diddy in that holding role as well. They've got attacking players, some very good creative players as well in T Elements. I know he's on loan. They should make that signing permanent. And if they don't, someone else will. Damari Gray, especially, Jamie Vardy, they've got creative players, they've got young players, and he's going to utilise them very, very well. Didn't get to see this game either. Manchester United versus Watford. By the sound of the stats, it kind of doesn't... Wow, actually, I didn't expect that. Okay, so Manchester United had 51% possession, 6 shots, 5 shots on goal. Watford had 49% possession, 14 shots on target, 14 shots in total, 8 shots on target, only 1 goal. So by the looks of that, because I only got the alerts coming through on my phone, so when it went like 2-0 to Manchester United, thinking they must be bossing this game, but then people are saying afterwards, Man United just weren't at it in this game, and they were actually fortunate not to draw or lose the game, and I'm like, what? And I haven't seen Match of the Day yet or anything like that, but when I see those stats, that's ridiculous. And that's at Old Trafford as well. Watford must have gone absolutely hell for leather. They got their goal by Decore in the 90th minute as well. Maybe they should have got more from that, and I think that's maybe why David De Gea got man of the match for that game as well by a lot of people. So, but they picked up the win, and that's all that they can do. Everton versus West Ham. Everton absolutely 100% outclassed West Ham all over the pitch. This was ridiculous to watch. This was absolutely... I almost switched it off at one point just because I thought, you know what, it's Everton. I really don't give a what about Everton at all. But they really did. West Ham just literally, as soon as they came on the pitch, just went vroom and just wilted. Just wilted. In fact, maybe even before then, maybe when the team lineup was given out, because the team lineup was not impressive, to be honest. Yeah, you've got Arnautovic up there, Lucas Perez, who barely plays, Obiang, Declan Rice, good player, obviously. It was flat. It was flat as a fart for a home game for West Ham. They just had no fight, no bottle, nothing. 1 shot on target the whole game. A deserved loss for West Ham. Now, we move on to Sunday, and obviously, big game on Sunday. Well, it was Liverpool versus Tottenham, and I'll come to that one straight away because I need to spend a little bit of time on Chelsea versus Cardiff. Liverpool versus Tottenham. We were exceptionally lucky. Liverpool were exceptionally, astoundingly lucky in this game. I mean, I'm just going to go into the stats. Yes, we bossed possession. We had more shots. We had more shots on target, which tends to be a key thing in most of our games. We have the more shots. Getting them on target seems to be the trouble. 13 shots, 4 on target. Not good enough in my opinion. Now, we get a goal through Firmino. Beautiful cross by Andy Robertson. It was absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Then they get their goal back. We completely switched off. I think they took a quick free kick. Heung-min Son had been on the pitch for like 5 seconds or something like that. Lucas Moura comes across. It gets squared to him and he puts it in the back of the net. And that is just terrible from our midfield. And I will spend a little more time tomorrow speaking about our midfield because I have a big issue with the fact that we did not start Fabinho. Massive issue. I don't care who is in that midfield alongside him. Fabinho should be like your favourite... It should be like waking up. You're gonna wake up. Otherwise, in unfortunate circumstances, you won't. But generally, every day, you're gonna wake up and it should be just like that instant thing of waking up. He should be in that midfield all the time. Doesn't matter who else is in there, who we're playing, whether it's bottom of the league, top of the league, Fabinho should be in that midfield every single time, without fail. I don't care if it means Henderson sits out, Milner sits out, I'd rather not Gini Wijnaldum sits out, but you know what? You know what I'm talking about. And I think a lot of people will agree, because when he came on, we had a lot more control. We were absolutely losing control of the midfield. And he comes on, and we settle the midfield, and we get an exceptionally lucky goal. I think it loops over in their box. Salah headers it at Lloris. Lloris palms it into the path of Toby Alderweireld, who just couldn't control it and knocks it in the back of the net. 90th odd minute, whatever it was, and absolute scenes at Anfield. 2-1 Liverpool. We go back top of the table for now. With Man City, they have a game in hand. Scenes. Now, Chelsea versus Cardiff. By the way, I'm going to be doing a separate video about Liverpool tomorrow. So that'll be out on Tuesday. So look out for that one as well. It should be in the subscription box if you are subscribed. Chelsea versus Cardiff is a game that Chelsea should not have won at all. And I'm not having a dig at Chelsea because they cannot control well, as far as we know, they don't control what the referees do, and I'm not insinuating anything right there. But the referees have to be able to, they have to be they have to be forced to come out and explain their decisions sometimes, because you get footballers and everything like that have to come out sometimes when there's a controversial thing happening in the game, and they have to explain their actions. They have to go through sanctions with the FA and stuff like that. When you've got a game where a clear red card stopping a goal scoring opportunity, a clear red card on Rudiger is not given. It's a yellow card, and it should have been a red. There is absolutely no question that should have been a red. And then the goal that Azpilicueta scores should not have been given. He was about 2 yards offside when the ball was coming in. He was offside again when the ball came back in for him to nod in or whatever he did with it. I think it was a header. I honestly couldn't care less. Cardiff were really, really good in this game, and they totally deserved all of the points. They didn't get them because the referees and the linesmen, the whole refereeing little team that they've got there, was absolutely atrocious. Now, what that means for a team like Cardiff, what that would have meant if they'd have walked out of there with the victory, all right, they would have been on 31 points and they'd have been 2 points off Burnley in 17th place. Now, it means they're sat with 7 games to go and they're 5 points off safety because of refereeing decisions. And it is ridiculous. Anybody that's against VAR, I honestly don't understand. If you come back and use, oh, well, that's what all banter's about, isn't it? That's what people are talking points. I would much rather not have talking points. I would much rather, imagine if a title race was decided by a referee not giving a red card, not giving a goal that was offside, and giving the goal, not giving the offside. Imagine if a title was given that way. Can you imagine the uproar? Imagine the uproar. Now, because it's a team that might get relegated, it's like no one cares. It really is. And it's an absolute shambles that Cardiff have had to go through that. I am not the biggest fan of Neil Warnock, and I am no way a fan of Cardiff, but that is absolutely shocking. If that had happened to someone like Man United or something like that, I'd be speaking exactly the same, because it's not on. This is meant to be the top level football, the Premier League. It's in the title, Premier. It's meant to be the top of the best, the cream of the crop. And right now, that was absolutely bottom of the barrel, scraping the barrel, dregs. It was awful. I can't defend that whatsoever. And anyone that does, you're absolutely ridiculous. So that is my video. Sorry to finish on a rant, but I just had to get it out there. That is my video of this weekend in the Premier League, this weekend in football. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Any other talking points that you can think of. Look out for the Liverpool video tomorrow where I summarise and hopefully go over the midfield options for Liverpool going forward. But for now, I'm out of here. Catch you later, catch you tomorrow, and have a good day, guys.